Okay, so I don't know where I'm supposed to go to find out anything about the things, because they didn't have any information on the on duels in that place, so I guess we're just moving on up then to the next floor. Knock knock.
Yes, who is it?
Mr. Gunn, I'm StepsBasic.
Are you the ghost examination people?
Yes, ma'am.
Lois Cunningham, Ghost Annihilation Services. Steps is my assistant.
I mean, what?
Yeah, who's the county licensed ghost hunter here? You or me?
Okay, fine, I guess.
Have you all been able to exterminate all the ghosts? I still feel haunted. 9 of them are left according to the scanners.
We're still working on it, ma'am. Don't worry. Count on us.
Alright, please let me know when you're finished.
Will do, ma'am. Huh. 9, huh? I've been doing pretty good. I hear magic on one side and thing on the other. Huh. Musty smelling. Okay. Dueling banjos. Nice. Dueling. Dueling. Duel law. Duly noted. Nice. Cool. You learn about all the laws pertaining to dueling. It turns out 2 guys want to murder each other in a fair and unreasonable manner. Things get legally tricky. Cool. Nice. We're learning about duel law now. Man, we're actually getting good at this whole shooting people thing. Hi. Let's go.
You're back. Did you get a crash course in duel law?
I sure did. Well, the only thing I didn't really understand is when it's legal to banish your opponent to the Shadow Realm.
Okay, well, that didn't come in my case, so don't worry about it.
Great.
Let me do a quick review. A duel is illegal provided. A duel is illegal provided it's between exactly 2 people at a specific prearranged time and place using the same or at least essentially similar weapons, and that they have either face each other down and quick draw at the opponent moment, or do 10 paces, turn and fire routine. Is that right?
That's the gist of it, yes. So I guess let's start with you telling me the facts of the case, and I'll interrupt you rudely if I have any questions.
Alright, but don't push me on trivial nonsense. I'll get mad and you'll have to start over.
That seems fair. Go ahead.
McCready and Timsbury got into an argument in a saloon at the evening of June 17th. Apparently, Timsbury accused McCready of cheating at poker.
Go on.
The bartender yelled at them and to take it outside, but since it's already dark outside, they agreed to meet for the duel the next day.
And that would be the 18th, you said?
Yes, June 18th.
Okay, go on.
Well, the next day, they both showed up shortly before noon and squared off about 30 feet from each other. When noon struck, McCready fired fast enough that Timsbury didn't get a shot off, on account of having his head shot off. That's pretty much the long and short of it.
I'm going to have to ask for more details about this.
Go ahead.
He fired exactly at noon.
Yes, the church bells were starting to ring.
You also mentioned McCready's pocket watch.
Yes, he had a fancy pocket watch to time the hours. Is that the important reason for some reason?
Yes, not. Let me ask something else.
Go ahead.
You said there were eyewitnesses, about half a dozen of them watching from across the street or peeking through half-open shutters. Were they interviewed?
Yes, and their stories lined up with what I just told you.
Were any of them known associates of McCready?
I'm not aware of them any specific being actual friends with McCready, but he was a local and a lot of people knew him.
Wait a minute.
Just where are you going with this? Objection!
Oh, come on. Any one of those people could have interceded on McCready's behalf.
What? Done what exactly?
Well, they could have shot Timsfield with a more accurate weapon, or a rifle.
Then there'd have been 2 gunshots instead of just 1, or are you suggesting they shot him with a poison blow-dart gun?
Well, was he tested for poison?
Get out!
She shoves you out of the gallery and says,
Rats.
I didn't want to ask about... I mean, they could have lied.
Hi, it's me again.
Let's go. Seems fair. Go ahead. Go on. Day of the week. Tell me about the arguments.
Well, there isn't much to tell. The other players in the game had already folded their hands and weren't paying attention. And Jane Farm cheating and Tinsbury and he'd been accused of cheating once or twice before, but Reno's you got a history of cheating. It'd be irrelevant because these are the duels immaterial. The legality of the duel itself, motive isn't an issue here. But remember how I warned you? This is extremely relevant.
What the? This is extremely relevant. If MacCready was a habitual cheater, it's likely he would have cheated in the duel as well. And somehow you're going to prove to me that MacCready was a habitual poker cheater 17 years after the fact. How exactly do you intend to accomplish that, Mr. Prosecutor? Even if you did somehow pull that off, it would be circumstantial evidence at best. You'd have to prove he cheated in the duel itself in front of witnesses. What form do you imagine his cheating took, pray tell? Mirrors? Well, I will get this. Objection, those are significantly different weapons. A modern cartridge revolver versus an antique cap and ball loader? Ridiculous. The antique was in production until 1873 and was considered one of the most reliable and popular six-shooters in the territories. Furthermore, the restriction against differing weapons in a duel is about pistols versus rifles and the proverbial knife in a gunfight. Or, as more recent nitwit trying to argue law against... Jeez, it's a bit harsh. Alright. There's something in what she's saying that it doesn't add up. Let me get some more details on that. He fired exactly at noon. Yes, as the church bells started ringing. That's not noon. Yes. Yes. Time, the hour. Turned on the hour. Is that important for some reason? That's something else. I mean, that is technically noon, but it's not noon. I'm going to have to ask some more details on this. He fired exactly at noon, just as the bells struck. Objection! What the heck? MacCready fired at the wrong time. What are you talking about? He fired at exactly noon, with the church bells. There are witnesses. Everyone knows that high noon is the final strike on the bell. Fired at the clock noon, but the duel was set for high noon. They aren't the same thing. High noon is just when the sun is at its highest point in the sky, depending on geography and time of year. It can also be hours different from the clock noon. MacCready fired early, and that makes the duel illegal. What do you say to that, counselor? There's a slow smile. Gotta hand it to you, Prosecutor Basics. You're a lot better at this. See. Okay, I may be incorrect, but I'm pretty sure that's what I've always understood, is high noon is the final bell on the clock, but what I said here is also accurate. High noon is when the sun is highest in the sky. But, anyway, shut up. Anyway, it's good for you. Okay, what's that? I already thought it. Take that! Oh, Jesus, she hit me with a book. What the heck is this? I did my homework, and I was prepared for my trial. That legal homework, since at that time I was expected to be an actual trial, not a gunfight, which you were holding in the nautical almanac for the year 1878. There are bookmarks if you'd like to do the math. Look into high solar noon, aka high noon, for the June 18th and make adjustments for Reno's longitude. You gotta be kidding me. That's right, Mr. Prosecutor. 12 o'clock p.m. Precisely. No. Well, dang. Nice try. I mean that seriously. That's all my ammo. I can't think of any other way to disprove MacCready's innocence. As far as I can see, it was a fair duel. Yes, and that's me with the guilt of an innocent man's death on my hand. Innocent man's death. You sure are good at repeating things that people say. What if he didn't die? Say what now? Well, you didn't actually see the execution, right? Yes, well, I was indisposed, you might say, being dead and all. So you don't actually know whether or not it happened. Oh, come on. Look, I appreciate the effort, but you're barking at the moon. Let me ask you something. All right, go ahead. What can you tell me about MacCready? He was a gunfighter through and through, and by that I mean he was an adrenaline addict and dueling with the needle of choice. Heck, if you told me you had evidence that he cheated at poker with specific intent on baiting people and challenging him to duel, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. He was a sly one. Her expression softened since she sighs. Make him sound like a real devil. That's not fair. He was a smart and charming and could have been a good man if he'd chosen a different life for himself. Anything else? Well, I recall he was a real good head for numbers. He told me that he never forgot a date, and every man he'd ever killed, he'd remember to pour beer on the grave on their birthday. Well, that's nice. A nicer birthday present would have been to have not killed them in the first place, of course. Yep. I have another question for you. Why did he invoke trial by combat? Why would MacCready invoke trial by combat? It's pretty straightforward. A duel only worsened his odds. I was mighty surprised, let me tell you. The only thing I can figure out is it was his dang full sense of gunfighter's pride or something. That was the only form of justice he was willing to submit himself to. I have another question. The trial after the duel, 19th?
No, I don't know what Reno's like now, but I didn't have a proper courthouse then. Can't try a murder charge in the sheriff's front parlor. McCready sat in the jail for a couple weeks, and they transported him to Frisco. With one thing and another, the trial didn't start until July 25th. Jesus, so much for a right to a speedy trial. Wheels grind slow. I have another question for you. When was the execution? Well, he had the trial by combat on the 26th, and that was a Friday. They don't execute prisoners on the weekend, so presumably it would have been the following Monday, the 29th. In the morning? Well, with setting up gallows and letting a crowd gather, they usually happen in the afternoon, around 3 typically. I have a question for you. All right, go ahead. I'm back. All right, so I got to find out some more information about this. Look up a date. July 29th. So McCready's doing the next year. Let's see. Wow, wait a minute. According to this, there was a total eclipse of the sun that day, centered right over the Western Territories, and with totality at 2:47. That's a heck of a thing. Okay. Hi. I looked up the thing on the 29th. Get this, there was a total eclipse of the sun that day. Wow, you just messed with me. No, look for yourself. Totality, 247, right over the Western Territories. That's quite a thing. I don't see how it affects the wait, unless you're suggesting. Right. It's the perfect opportunity for McCready to escape. That's absurd. Absurd like a fox. You said yourself McCready was really good at remembering dates. He could have read about that eclipse at any time and stored the knowledge away for future use, like to give himself an advantage or a duel or something. Alright, that's reasonable as far as it goes, but McCready couldn't have worked the eclipse into an escape plan because he didn't have any sort of say over the court schedule. You said, with one thing and another, the trial didn't start until July 25th. McCready could have caused any number of those delays himself by faking illness in prison, messing with the horses on the ride to Frisco, anything. This could also explain the trial by combat. You mean there ended up being too much of a delay, so that if a regular trial went on too long and if he was found guilty, he would have missed the eclipse. Exactly. Whereas if he called for trial by combat, everything would be resolved one way or another in only one more day. Maybe you'd win and that'd be fine, but if you lose, he could use his escape plan. I have to admit this is pretty compelling, but it all maybes and what ifs. Yeah, maybe it happened, but maybe McCready was rescued by leprechauns. Oh man, are there leprechauns in Frisco? You need some kind of hard evidence before this is any more than just a fun story, if you would see what I mean. Well, let me ask you something. How can I find evidence of his escape? Well, we don't know there was an escape that ever happened. True. Something like that would have gone in the news for certain. Okay, I'll see what I can find. There was, I don't know if this matters. This house isn't on any map you've seen. Okay. I'll be right back. There were trespassing. Find a few bundles of old newspapers at the bottom of the shelf. Frisco Newsinator. You start at the bottom, flip backwards, start from the week of the 28th to August 3rd. The main features to do with the eclipse and various accidents and spectacles that occurred. The editor apologized for burying the announcement in the previous week's weather forecast. Most notably, all 3 men scheduled to be hanged on the 25th, 29th escaped in their confusion. Only 2 of them were recaptured. Unfortunately, they keep looking. You don't find anything relevant to the case. However, as you're putting the newspapers back in order on the shelf, a headline: Husband of famous inventor missing. The article is light on information, but apparently Mrs. Gunn's husband, Dan, vanished on the road while traveling dirt water on business about 6 years ago. Law enforcement suspected bandits, but there was, that's unfortunate. She's probably going to want more information, but maybe this will give me another lead on something else. Hi! I have a question for you. Found a newspaper article. Which one? Well, didn't say, did it? Nope, dang it. Executed criminals aren't given gravestones with their names on them, so you can't just go looking around the Frisco cemetery to find it. Listen, Steps, I really appreciate what you're trying to do here. But at this point, you would have to actually find McCready himself to prove that he wasn't executed due to my failure. Well, I guess that's what I'll do then. Maybe I was on the right track, though, about, like, the
freaking postman, but like maybe I talk to the actual postman. I know that sounds weird, but you know what I mean. There's a post office right here. Hi. Don't suppose you know anything about the postman? Nope. Hey, I'm trying to find a guy named McCready. My other option was to try to go through their things. I'm trying to find a guy named McCready. There's a possibility he might have passed through here about 17 years ago. Passed through. We don't stamp passports here. Yeah, well. If he stayed for a while, he might have had forwarded. Oh, can you check, please? Alright, them books can use Dustin anyway. One sec. She pulls the big ledgers out from Dust. 78, 76, 77, 78. Myron, Mablestone, McCrumpty, McCready. Yeah, here you go, Matt McCready. That the one? That's him. No foreign address, but you could ask at his old place just out northwest here. Let me stamp your map. Oh, yeah, it looks like a desert house. That's the one. I've been to Desert House. Desert House. This is the one I had to sneak up on, right? Yeah, it's the sneaky house. Was this tombstone here the whole time? Ah, pointy. Matt McCready died in 1887. Stick to his guns. You take a shovel his wooden cause, haul the skeleton things. Well, it doesn't, but anyway. Howdy? Howdy! Are you Guilty McCready? Well, now I ain't heard that nickname in what is it? What year is it? 1895. 17 years. Nah, I tell a lie. There was one time about 8 years ago. The same McCready that escaped gallows during the eclipse? Ha! Well, now, since statute of limitations expired, I might well fess up. Yeah, that was me. Real sweet plan, too. Apart from one little hitch, it went off smooth as silk. Even worked it in a little misdirection to lead the law to them two fellers instead of me. Serves them right, too. They was real murderers, not like me. I never killed a man except in a fair fight. Except for that one little hitch you mentioned. You miscalculated how long to delay the trial. Oh, well, yeah, that's the truth of it. You're blaming me for Miss Rainwire's death, I suppose. Why didn't you just trust her? She could have gotten you declared innocent. She had a real good head on her shoulder, sure, but so did that prosecutor fella. I didn't rate the odds better than 50-50. Not good enough. And anyway, trial by combat was part of her job. She should have been ready. That stinks. She trusted you. She's a ghost now because she feels guilty about losing that trial. I spent ages trying to convince her that you weren't innocent, and she backed you every step of the way. And despite the fact that you got her killed, and you don't even care. Hell, you bite your tongue, sonny. You don't know me. Don't care. I did what I felt I had to do to stay alive, and I felt dang guilty about what happened to Miss Wainwright. But I ain't taking all the blame for her, no sir. She'll tell you herself she should have been better prepared, just like she told me that day, apologizing with her last breath. I gave up gunfighting for her. Gave up the only thing I lived for. That's how bad I felt about it. You gave up gunfighting? Weren't easy, but I did it. Bought this house, bought this land, raised some chickens, had a little vegetable garden. Places been gone to heck since I died. That's a shame. Anyway, never fired my pistol again, not even in the dang fence post. It's not what it says on your grave. Nah, read it again. That fella who killed me, having a little ironic joke, I reckon. Someone killed you? You're only the second person tracked me down. First one was 9 years after that trial. Vic Timsbury, brother, hunting for revenge. What happened? He challenged me to duel. I told him I ain't doing that no more. He asked me again. I said no. And he hollered at me, and I took my pistol out of my closet and threw it at his feet so he could see its cylinder was all rusted shut. And he cocked his gun, asked me one last time, and said nope. Last thing I remember was the bang. Ah, jeez. Got him to bury me, though. Guess they weren't all bad. You want to see Felicity again? I could take you to her ghost. Nah, I reckon I'll just go back to sleep. Ain't right, dead fella walking around. Just tell her sorry for me, and you give me my pocket watch. She'll recognize it. Oh, that is a nice pocket watch. Betting me game 40%. All right, bye, McCready. So long, fella. That was... Well. Hey, Sally. Sorry, not now. All right, then see you around, fella. I love you, Sally, but I got stuff I gotta do. I'm busy right now. Hi, I'm back. Got a question for you. You ready for this? What now? Found McCready's grave. He wasn't executed. You're 100% certain it's him, not some other man named McCready? It was him. Here, he gave me his pocket watch to give to you. She turned the watch around in her hands for a while, just looking at it without saying anything. Yes, this is his watch, all right, thank you. Wait, you said he gave it to you? He's alive? Not exactly. He's a skeleton. We talked for a while, then he asked me to bury him again so he could go back to sleep. What'd he say? He confirmed our guess. and he knew about the eclipse in advance and solved the trial long enough to escape for his escape plan, but it stalled too long and decided to hedge his bet by calling the trial by combat. I see. He gave up gunfighting. He what? He bought a little house, raised some chickens, never fired his pistol again. In fact, he left it to rust. 9 years later, Timsbury's brother caught up with him and challenged him to a revenge match. McCready refused repeatedly. The guy shot him. She looks at you silently for a moment. Then she looks at the watch. She winds up the hands and gives it back back a minute. Listens to the chimes again. She sighs, shakes her hands, smiles at you. Thank you, Steps. You make a dang fine attorney. I got an attorney's badge. Take that. Cool. Rest in peace, counselor. Well, I did it. It didn't play the song, though. Hey, Paul. Shh, I still a ghost out there? No, I took care of her. Oh, thank God. I gotta wash the flour off and get back to work. But first, he starts frantically scratching every part of his body. Man, feels like I've been saving up these itches for days. I was about to go crazy. Thanks, Steps. You're a lifesaver. No problemo. Come see me if you want a souvenir photograph. Alright, bye. That was weird. I forgot what the ghost lady wanted. Hey, ghost lady, how am I supposed to get rid of you? I was wondering how you died. I never asked her. I was wondering how you died, if it's not too personal a question.
I was caught in a crossfire at a library shootout. Wow, what happened? A pair of ruffians got into a heated argument over the comparative merits of Anton Chekhov versus Henrik Ibsen, and when they started shooting, I attempted to step in and stop them. I simply won't abide gunfire in my library. It's far too loud.
That's your point of objection? The noise?
That's quite sufficient. I won't tolerate noise of any stripe, and certainly not gunfire. Ibsen versus Chekhov, huh? What's the point of their contention? I don't recall the particulars. I just remember that Chekhov's found shouting, "Remember that guns I showed you in the Act 1 before opening fire? The noise was dreadful." I'll see what I can do.
So we gotta get rid of noise? How are we supposed to get rid of noise? Hey! I know how to make guns quiet.
Shh! How many times do I gotta tell you? Sorry, but I know how to make guns quiet. Oh, really? Can you show me?
You nod. You quickly and quietly leave the library, gather materials for a silencer, and head to the lab to craft it. You got a silencer. You return to the library and presented it.
I invented this thing to make guns really quiet. Oh, how marvelous. Finally, I can rest in peace knowing that libraries will now be safe from the noise of gunfire. It's only in an atmosphere of quiet that true joy dare live. Bertrand Russell.
And with that, she dissipates into nothing. He isn't famous yet. Well, whatever. Anyway, bye. Hi, Florence. According to my weird instruments, there are 7 ghosts left on the premises. More precisely, there's 1 left on the first floor. I gotta kill Chili. There's 2 left on the second floor. Exploding cigar and an eyeball. And 4 on the third. Alright, thanks. Let's go up to the 3rd floor. Yay. Alright, so let's talk to Mr. Gunn. Oh, that's a dirty... Sofa's tacky, both in terms of style and stuff that's been spilt on it. Gross. From the smell of it, Mr. Gunn burned mostly garbage in this thing. Gross. Humidor full of cheap cigars. Nice. Grab another one. And another one. Okay. You got plenty of them at this point. Alright, I gotta figure out how to... Oh, hi. This guy doesn't notice you approaching until you're right next to him. He yelps in surprise and drops his glass on the floor. Then squints unsteadily at you. Then he takes a maraschino cherry from the bowl and throws it at your head. Hey, stop that.
Sorry, just making sure you're not one of them ghosts.
He drops another cherry into a fresh glass and pours a lot of whiskey on top of it. Are you one of them museum employees?
Yep, that is me.
What are you doing here?
Hiding, buddy. I don't know if you didn't notice, but this house got ghosts in it.
You don't say.
Whole bunch of ghosts. Whole bunch of them all over. So I don't know about you, but I'm staying right here,
where it's nice and drunk. I mean, safe. Wouldn't you rather get out of here?
Nah, all the booze. The booze. I'm really scared when the ghosts go boo. Yeah, they'll get me if I leave this room.
Are there any ghosts between this room and the exit?
So you said. That's what you said. With their ghosts, they could be anywhere.
Except in here.
Exactly. I ain't leaving without a guarantee that those ghosts won't grab me on the way.
We could disguise you.
That's a mighty fine idea, but I hold. That's the curtain's got no holes for my eyes. I won't be able to see.
I'm starting to think you don't actually want to leave.
No, you give me that. It's terrible in here.
Shoot some holes in the curtain. You narrow your eyes and then blast some holes in the curtain with your pistol.
Okay, I can't see, so I got a picture.
Grabs an armload of bottles from the chute, pulls the shower curtain over his head and staggers out the door. Good. I don't know what his job was. I'm gonna grab one. Manly's finest cotton candy schnapps. Jesus Christ, it's 17 freaking speed. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. Bye. Nice swords. Alright. Nothing happens. Let's see. The bowling stuff is extremely broken. It's not supposed to be flying around. Alright, I'll fix it. What's this one? Wow. They're dead now. Bowling championship ring. Not bad. Hooray! The XR85 was complete trash. Oh, okay. I'm gonna reset it. Oh. Bowling shirt name tag. Nice. Dan. Okay. Bullwinkle, no. Well. Hi. I got an eyeball. Ah, thank you. Thank you very much. She takes the glass eye and puts it in, whereupon it falls through her hand and onto the floor. She picks it up. Oh dear, it's a little too physical. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this to work. Don't worry. It's easy to fix. Do you have a hammer I can borrow? A hammer? Yes. That'll do nicely, thank you. She takes the hammer, places the glass eye on price. Crack! Ah, perfect. She gives the hammer back and plucks the ghost of the glass eye from the shattered fragments. After blowing the dust off it, she tucks it into her eye socket. Does it work? Well, now that you mention it, no, I can't actually see with it. It's the ghost of a glass eye, after all. Oh dear, this won't do it all. What a shame. You know, I don't really understand why your eye is still missing. What do you mean? Well, I just assumed that somebody loses an arm or something, it just sticks around as a ghost arm. That's why people say that they can feel it itching, because, you know, phantom limb syndrome, blah, blah, blah. But then where did my eye go? Maybe you got pushed to the back of the inside of your head. No, that's... Wait. What? I think I felt something just then. Goodness gracious. Keep going. She bends her head forward and continues shaking it. You can almost hear a faint rattling sound and then plop! She straightens it back up, blinking her two eyes. You did it! Well, I'll be. Thank you so much, dear. I never thought that would have a problem. Would never have thought of that. No problem. Have a nice time in heaven or whatever. Bye. Alright, cool. Hi. What other novels you invent? Anything else? Anything else? So that's 1 on the bottom floor, 1 on the second floor, and 4 on the third. Alright, thanks. Oh, that's right. I got distracted when I got in here. Sheet music, huh? Blank sheet music. Nice. The only sheet music you have is blank. Who do you think you are? John Cage? No. This is a bassoon. And you know what they have? What they say. He makes out a butt and then... What? Bah! You always hated these things. This woman doesn't seem to be interested in anything other than cranking that hurdy-gurdy. You definitely disconnect the crank and the hurdy-gurdy without alerting the woman's attention. But it turns out you needn't have bothered. She continues to turn the crank blank-eyed even with nothing attached to it. You grab the end of the crank and pull her very slowly to the gift shop where you find the old Victrola and plug her into it. Problem solved? Hey, I haven't been here in a while. It's you, my hero and savior. Thanks again for your help. What an ordeal. No problem. How's the itching? More or less better, I guess. I mean, hygiene is what it is. It's the day and age, you know. You know. Would you like souvenir photographs? Oh, sure, I'll take one. Wait a second. This is a photograph of the house. Yep, an official gunman souvenir photo. Why'd you take a picture of me then? Oh, that's just for our records. Okay. Hi. What you got for candy? Ooh, pretty. Alright, bye. Hi. Personalized shot glasses. Is your name Ethan? The guy squints. Sure. He knocks back a shot and tosses the glass over his shoulder before picking it up and filling another one. Now it's Bill.
Hear that. Personalized shot glass. Gain experience when you drink booze. Okay, thanks.
Still missing the snacks vendor. Oops, sorry. Still missing the snacks vendor. I keep getting distracted every time I go into the music room, so let's actually solve a problem in here today, huh? Hi! This is a ghost of an orchestra instructor, unless he's a ghost of someone pretending to be an orchestra instructor. Either he's very agitated about something or he's conducting Flight of the Bumblebee. Sorry to interrupt you, but I can't actually hear the music. What are you conducting?
It is the finale of the year 1812 Solemn Overture by Tchaikovsky.
Oh, the 1812 Overture. Sure, that would have been my second guess. Or is your orchestra like double ghost or something?
What? Ah, I see. No, there's no orchestra. I merely have this piece of music irrevocably lodged in my head, and it's been nagging at me incessantly ever since my death.
What happened? I died. So this is just a guess, but did you die during a performance of the 1812 Overture?
That is correct, yes. Very astute of you.
And the finale of that piece features real, actual cannons, right? Is that how you died?
If it was my fate to be slain by a piece of music, cannons would have been preferable to my utterly farcical demise.
What happened?
The overture requires several cannons because it is impossible to load a single cannon quickly enough to fire as the score demands. However, the stage we were performing on could not have been borne the weight.
What'd you do?
I was not informed of the difficulty until it was far too late to make any changes. It transpired that the stage manager decided it would be sufficient to give a box of bullets to the tuba player.
You were shot by a tuba?
I was shot by, as you say, a tuba.
Wow, no wonder you ended up as a ghost.
Oh, it's this ridiculousness is my death that troubles me, really. Accidents happen, as with any performing arts. A colleague of mine was decapitated by an errant cymbal during a performance of Paganini's Violin Concerto No. 1. Such are the risks we take for art.
Gosh.
Problem is that with the 1812 Overture finale, it's a very dramatic and energetic piece. With this music constantly replaying itself in my head, I have been utterly unable to find any peace.
I'll see if I can find a way to help. Is that what I think it is? Is that, my friends, exactly what I'm thinking it is? Hello. Gimme. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. Come to Papa.
What are you doing?
Huh? Oh, nothing. What are you doing? Looking at someone who's kneeling next to a spittoon with the apparent intention of sticking his whole entire face in it. You jam your head... Uh-oh. You jam your head in the spittoon up to the shoulder and find... nothing. The brass bucket is shiny and clean, outside and in, clean as the day it was born. The museum staff must have washed it. It looks brand new. Are you crying? Oh, fine, you're crying. Okay, well, I'll just be over here whenever you're done lying on the ground in the fetal position, hugging the spittoon. Fine. My emotions. I'm gonna take this. Ooh, a wobbly booty cube. Oh, that sucks. Looks comfy. Too bad you're too busy laying down. Good enough. Oh, it is so shiny, too. Hi! Hey there, how's it going?
I ain't interested in your chit-chat, fella. Just billiards. Step up or shut up.
Challenge him to a game. You pull out your cue, and the ghost nods and racks the balls. He utterly trounces you. You just can't seem to make the balls go where you intended. That was the saddest show. That is the saddest showing that I've ever seen. Let me see that cue. Yeah, that's your problem. This thing's about as straight as a bank's handshake. What? You need to lathe it back to true if you want to dance with me. Lathe, huh? I've seen one of those. I heart billiards, I guess. It's the biggest, dumbest poster you've ever seen. Wait, what? There's a trapdoor in the ceiling over here. Too bad you aren't like 11 feet tall. I guess I need a ladder? Oh yeah. Wow, you hope you never meet a live duck this big. Yeah, he's just whistling Dixie. Like a helpless sofa and stuffing its carcass of grizzlies. Oh, you're funny. So many polyesters die just to decorate a room like this. These antlers are made out of paper mache, apparently by someone who had never seen antlers before. A whole rack of bowling trophies. If they were billiards trophies, it'd be easier pun to make. And there's a goblin head mounted like a trophy on the wall. This would be positively barbaric, if not for the fact that the goblin seems pretty okay with it. Boo! Ha ha ha! Pretty good I am to getting you, huh, human? Wow, yes, very much to getting me. Nice. What did happening to you? Did Mr. Gunn hunting you to cutting your head off? No, Mr. Gunn, a good human man, is being very friends. Inside one of his bowling ball bags, my spore is growing. Only headroom. Mr. Gunn finding me and hanging me up here for chatting with. Great guy. Wow, weird. Hi. This ghost is dressed as a traditional safari hunter with a pith helmet and a white mustache and those weird khaki trousers that make it look like his butt has wings. He's inspecting Mr. Gunn's trophy collection, but doesn't seem particularly impressed. Hi, I'm StepsBasic.
Hey, charmed, I'm sure. Lord Houston Gambleton. At your service.
What happened to you, if you don't mind my asking?
Not at all. Though it isn't a very exciting story, eh, what? I was hunting lions on the plains of the Sparangeti, and one of the blighters got the better of me.
Wow, you were eaten by a lion? That sounds pretty exciting to me.
Yes, well, not eaten as such. Sneaky bugger crept in the camp, pushed a stack of ammunition crates over on me.
Oh, maybe I can help you.
Huh? Help me do what?
Well, help with whatever's keeping you as a ghost, though now that you say it, I guess there really isn't much I can do to help you get revenge on a lion.
Oh, no, it isn't revenge that's keeping me here. Good for that lion, I say. Turn about there playing all that, eh, what? No, I do wish he'd done it in a manner better than for a better story.
So why are you a ghost, then?
It's because of my one true regret I never faced the most dangerous game.
I'm definitely not going to help you hunt people.
What? No, the most dangerous board game. Nobody was ever willing to play against me. But shame me.
What's the game? He leads you over to a small table on which is laid out a board of alternating red and black squares and little wooden discs painted red and black as well. Checkers? The checkers jump and scatter as the ghost stabs two large hunting knives into the center of the board.
Knife checkers.
Huh. What are the rules?
Do you know how to play checkers?
Yes.
Do you know how to stab someone in the hand with a knife?
Yes.
That's all you really need to know.
Okay, I'll play. You yank one of the knives out of the board, and Lord Houston instructs you to hold it left-handed. The rules are you may only attack your opponent's hands, and only when you are over the board. Displaced checkers are played from where they lay, but attacking the board directly is a foul, which awards the opponent stab-free turn. It appears to be primarily a game of concentration, quick movements, and feinting. Play aggressively. You start out the game by attacking quickly and fiercely to establish dominance and to keep your opponent from developing his pieces. This strategy is somewhat effective, but Lord Houston doesn't scare easily, and he manages to feint a few pieces past your guard. You enter mid-game more or less evenly matched. Play intelligently. In the mid-game, you focus more on the checkers than on your knife work maneuvering. You're into position for some big gains in the long term. You suffer a few minor nicks and cuts, but are well positioned for the endgame. Play craftily. Lord Houston spots a hole in your defenses. He feints left, then quickly slides into one of his pieces into the gap, and into your trap. This moves his hand just in a position you need to attack it with a hard downward stab. He easily yanks his hand out of the way, and your knife hits one of your pieces on its edge, flipping it across the board to land neatly in his back rank. Ding me!
I say it's foul to attack the board.
Sure, but I wasn't, was I? I attacked your hand and you dodged, that's all.
You sneaky blighter.
Play continues, but with the king behind Lord Houston's lines, you clean up fairly quickly.
All right, lad, I concede. Marvelous play, what? Very well done.
He gives you a smart salute and fades away. Whew. Nice. I'm good at that. Epic. That's a fish. This is probably just a photograph of a fish. Mr. Gunn apparently really liberal with his definition of trophy. You can tell it's fake because it isn't floating around and setting stuff on fire. Make small talk with the goblin head for a bit. They're pretty cool. Well, I almost forgot. Let me turn this light off. There you go. Well, that was certainly exciting. Alright, let me get out of here.